Welcome back to Cinema Flicks Music Picks. I'm Davey, your host with the most, the beast with the least. Well, the very least I can do today is tell you about an album that turned up yet. See, there's doing that. Look, pink face, ghost face. Pink face, ghost face. Light alteration thing. Tell you about an album that came yesterday and just blew me away. And it shouldn't have. You know what it is because it's in the subject line of the video, but it's Lana Del Rey's new album. Did you know there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard? Latest in a long line of wonderful album titles for Lana. So this follows up her twofer from 2021, Chemtrails Over the Country Club and Blue Banisters. And they followed up the masterpiece Norman Rockwell from 2019. How do you top a threesome like that? Well, threesome being the operative word perhaps. You don't. You do something a bit different. And this is different for Lana. This is very different. There are elements here that are going to throw back, but there's so much more going forward. What this is a sprawling epic that takes her singer-songwriter elements and turns them into true poetry. She's always been a great lyricist, but this is the first time where I think this would read as well as it sounds. The writing on this is world class. No emotion is too raw. No nerve goes untouched. Everything is on the table for discussion. I'm not going to go through every track because first of all there's 15 of them, but second of all I think you need to hear this as a piece. And you might not want to hear it as a piece at first because a lot of it is very slow piano ballad led, and you might think, but it is a piece, it's a whole, it's meant to be, I don't think this is a kind of album where you can take too much out of it alone. So a track like Fingertips, which is a lot about motherhood, and she's singing about her sister having a baby and saying, oh God, is the baby going to be okay, worrying about miscarriages, and is the baby just going to be alright. And then she sings about, will I ever have a baby? Because she's 37 and never had one. And then sings about how her own mother said some very cruel things to her. So she's looking at it from, not just from both sides now, to quote Joni Mitchell, but from every side now. She's looking at it from her sister's point of view, from her mother's point of view, and from her point of view. It's remarkable stuff. What a songwriter. I did say there was not much that you could pull out to be singles. There are definitely a couple of things. I mean, they've released the advanced tracks, so ostensibly those are the singles. But there's definitely a few things that would stand alone here. One of them is Margaret, featuring Bleachers. That's a wonderful kind of laid back countryish track, with baby, if your love is in trouble. Baby, if your love is in trouble, if you know, you know, if you know, you know. And then your dude from Bleachers sings a whole verse and stuff. It's gorgeous stuff. It really is tremendous. Sing-along pop music done in a country style, going back to a slightly different influence from Lana. So not they were very far removed from the R&B spirit of some of her older material. But even that is still here in places. It's almost like she's making a kind of greatest hits of ideas, but not retreading the same sound. She's pushing forward, but with acknowledgements of everywhere she's been along the way. I mean, the last track, for example, Tackle Truck, XVB. Well, the VB stands for Venice Beach, and we get the last couple of minutes of this track is a redux version of her own song Venice Beach, but a much more grimy and sordid version. So that's the kind of thing that I'm saying here. She's looking back and pulling it forward. It's as if she's closing a chapter on certain things. One of the other great things here, Let the Light In, is a duet with Father John Misty, who can do no wrong. But they're just made for each other. I would love a duets album with those two, like Emmylou and Graham Parsons. You know, give me that, please. I would love that. And that's almost jarring when it comes in, because suddenly acoustic guitar is the lead instrument after all the piano stuff that we've had until that point, and then to hear some acoustic guitar coming in is it's almost jarring, even though it's just acoustic guitar. There are 2 tracks on here which are interludes. One is by Judah Smith, who's the preacher at Lana's church, who I think it's some kind of celebrity-ish church that quite a lot of stars go to, and it sounds like she's basically just hit record on her phone, because you hear her kind of giggling over it. So I think she's just literally taped a recording of him talking in the church, giving a sermon, and then stuck it on the album. And then the next time that happens is a couple of tracks later, we get the great John Baptiste. He also does an interlude on it, and then does a duet with Lana too. And I'm listening to the duet and I'm thinking, why do you need John Baptiste here? This isn't very, the stuff on Lana's material isn't always the most advanced piano. It tends to be very mid-like, so it's very, it's not particularly deep, so you don't need a John Baptiste to be able to play it. And then he gets a little solo and you go, that's why. And he sings a little bit towards the end as well. It's remarkable stuff. That's Candy Necklace with John Baptiste. There's a great track on here, King Tsugi, I think it's pronounced, and she talks about this weird feeling that she has, and I won't even tell you what it is because I think you'd hear it for yourself. And then she says, almost verbatim, there's no word in English to describe it, so I had to sing a whole song about it. The Japanese have a word, it's kintsugi. You know, and instead of just describing the feeling and letting that be the song, she goes into a whole section about the Japanese word for it. Again, inspired stuff, and never comes off as smart aleck or anything like that. Grandfather, please stands on the shoulders of my father while he's deep sea fishing. Well, our father does famously love to go deep sea fishing. He's got an album coming out soon as well, his first solo album, solo piano stuff, I think. So yeah, honestly, I don't think not only is there not a dud on this, and in fact I should highlight there's one track as well, A and W, which is one of the tracks that's been released before, so it's 7.5 minutes long, and she's operating so far above the other pop stars of her generation and the next generation down, that I don't think she's even in the same category. I think she's just so far above them that she can't be considered just a pop star. She's Leonard Cohen, she's Joni Mitchell, she's insert name here. There's a confessional quality and a poetical brilliance that you just don't get every day. Her singing is, as always, wonderful. She knows when to have it be bare and stripped. She knows when to not just double layer it, but multi-layer it, so it says like there's 10 of her singing. A couple of the track comes in, as does the opening here, the Grants, with kind of R&B chorus of voices. But oh my God, she knows exactly when to put what in. And look at that great picture over there, looking like Bobby Gentry. Some lovely stuff. Annoyingly, no lyrics in the booklet, which I would have liked, because I'd love to read this as much as anything else. The track with Tommy Genesis, that is a bit more of her kind of sampling past, where she used to be a bit more EDM like and whatnot. That is Peppers, and that, you know, that samples an old Tommy Genesis track. You know, Angelina Jolie. Believe me, if I say it's the Angelina Jolie song, once you hear it, you know exactly why I'm calling it the Angelina Jolie song. So yeah, this to me is a masterpiece. She's done it again. I don't know how she keeps producing these, but she just leaves it all out there. Nothing is left on the table. I never walk away from one of her records thinking, you've half-arsed it. No. You've done it again, Lana, and thank you very much for sharing everything with us. This is, remarkable stuff. So yeah, I can't go into as much depth on this because as an alarm goes off in the background, because it's so dense. I mean, they had to make the writing super small just to fit in all the names of the tracks. It's so lyrically dense. That's probably the reason that the lyrics aren't in the booklet, because the booklet probably needs to be 36 pages. It's a fascinating record and a masterpiece, and the first time I listened to it I thought, whoa, I need to listen to that straight away because I don't know what I've just heard, but I know it's great. And then I listened to it again, and then this morning I did a third listen and was able to kind of pick apart a few things where I went, right, there's a song to talk about, there's a song to talk about, but most of all, just let it hit you, let it all wash over you, and believe me, it will stick with you. It will stay with you. We're talking album of the year stuff here already. This is remarkable stuff from Lana Del Rey. Oh, folks, there might be another album review later on today. I've got an album I've listened to twice and also really, really dig. If I get that up today, I'll get it up today. But getting it up more than once a day is difficult in my age. Yeah. That wasn't worthy of me, that wasn't worthy of me. Okay, you know the drill. Stay safe out there, and love and mercy. Cheerio, folks.